Hello, everyone. Sorry, taking a little bit of a moment. This camera is not focusing. Focus. This is going to be one of those things that breaks my brick. Focus. One moment. And thing's going to snap back in. All right. Well, while this thing is trying to focus, thank you all who are tuning in, who are going to tune in. I appreciate it. So I spent a little bit of time over the past week or so since I did my little infomercial last week to get you guys tuned in and all set. I hope that this gets really big, and I plan on doing a lot of things for this. I spent quite a bit of time going over my list of stuff, some comments and stuff I got earlier. Well, not earlier, much later, back before all this got started. And yeah, so this topic is actually one of the big ones for me. So full disclosure, when I start to talk about the topic, it's all my opinion, but I'm fully aware of set variables that'll come into play with the topic, and understanding, the do's, the don'ts, the why, etc. So, it'll go as it goes. I'm going to be as serious as I can for this, although I might catch myself a little bit. So I hope you guys are excited. I'm kind of excited to do this. It's very different for me to do this as a single person streaming. Normally I've done streams here from Bricks and Minifigs with Ryan or Becca or Andrew or Riley, who have been here, who work with us. So yeah, we'll see how this pans out. So what breaks my brick? This is one of many things that bother me about Lego, something that Lego has done or doesn't do or contradicts, etc. So the topic of the matter is the theme Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So several years back, Lego did a theme for Ninja Turtles from 2012. The 2012 era. I'm in trouble focusing. You're fine. Yeah. The 2012 line for Ninja Turtles came out from Nickelodeon. It's a brilliantly done series. Had, I think, 10 to 12 seasons. I don't remember the number of seasons, but Lego wound up getting the license with Nickelodeon, etc., Ninja Turtles, and they did their first line of Ninja Turtle sets. Awesome sets. But eventually they came out with a few other sets that overall for the first and second line were around season 1 and season 2. Brilliantly done figures, iconic characters, some other things that
Hold on 1 second, guys. This is driving us crazy. Did it change?
I told you, this camera is going to break my brick today.
Tell me when it refocuses on there.
Okay.
You good?
Yep. See, now it works. Didn't work for me, but Ryan messes with it. Something crazy. So, getting back to it. So, Lego did 2012 Ninja Turtles line. Awesome line. By far one of my favorite lines. But you know what breaks my brick? Is that it got canceled. It got canceled. And they were only scratching the surface of what they could have done with this line for this series. They canceled it. They made sets for season 1, season 2, and then they just stopped, which honestly doesn't make sense to me. With all the opportunities that they have done, such as Star Wars, Elves, etc., and created such variations, colors, parts, etc., it really, snaps my plate, so to speak, that they just canceled it, and it didn't make any sense to me. And I understand if the series, the line, wasn't selling that well. I understand that they maybe couldn't do as many certain molds to characters for this line that could have been done, that definitely could have been done. Like so many different mutants that they could have created, because if those of you who are tuning in, those of you who will tune in, who are fans of Ninja Turtles, you know that mutagen is what created the Ninja Turtles, and then eventually creates a whole bunch of mutant villains and a mutant shredder, which Lego didn't do. And it really just breaks my brick, like why did you come out with such a great line and only scratch the surface of what you could have done with this? Like, why couldn't you work on and do more? Did one or multiple designers lose interest? Were the sales not good enough? Like, could maybe you have done something long-term and done a set or two for a few years to still slowly bring out the theme or something? Now, understand the company has certain rules and regulations, etc., about how many pieces can be made throughout the year, how much sets can be for parts, and etc. Certain molds, there's only a certain number of molds you could do. Maybe some of these just wasn't catching for other people, but I know for older fans of Ninja Turtles, if this was based off the 1980s, this I think would have done phenomenal. Mega Block did older Ninja Turtles, which are awesome. Now, I'm a 100% Lego fan. I always have been, always will be. But to be honest, I've had other toys in my life too, and other collectible items. And what Mega Block did was awesome, in my opinion. I mean, they made the bricking Technodrome. Like, it's awesome. They made Rocksteady and Bebop. Great characters, funny characters. Some that kids could actually be like, oh, look at these characters, Mom, Dad. Like, those would have sold. And so Mega Block got those, and they also did a 2012 line of series figures and stuff. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You lost out. In my opinion, Lego lost out on such a big opportunity, and then have another brick-like company create the line in a different way, more flexibility on the figures and characters and molds, because they do things a lot differently, such as what they do with Halo and Call of Duty stuff, which are really great as well. But seriously, Lego, like, what the brick? Like, are you kidding me? Why couldn't you stick to such a great series? The show did so well for Nickelodeon. It lasted so long. And it did well for adults, too. There was a lot of, like, adult things in there that they would have picked up. Not, obviously, inappropriate things, but enough to catch the eyes of adult fans for original Ninja Turtle fans. And it was just, like, a missed opportunity, in my opinion. My full opinion. And yes, it's a little bit of bias because I'm a fan of Ninja Turtles. I grew up on Ninja Turtles, 2012. I was a bit older then, of course, but still, I grew up on that. That lasted several seasons. I mean, one of my favorite seasons was Fast Forward, where turtles go into the future. Hello? Well, no, let me rephrase that. That was not 2012. That was early 2000s, so my mistake. That was my mistake. Still one of my favorite series. But the 2012 for Nickelodeon, they did so much for like Halloween, and they went into the future. They went into space and stuff. I mean, they made Professor Honeycutt, which is a robot, a droid. And yet you couldn't continue the series of sets. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I think, as a fan of Lego, I think as a fan of the series, as the comic books, it would have done really well. For the most part. Maybe not as well as Star Wars or Pirates of the Caribbean, but it was still a licensed theme. You mean to tell me you're going to spend decades on Star Wars, which is such a big, iconic series and line and theme, and do so much with that, besides a few other things that we could talk about later. But you're going to get a licensed theme, only scratch the surface of it, and then cancel it. Not only that, they later on, and I forget the year, it was like later 2000s, they got license for Ninja Turtles again. What? You mean to tell me you're going to cancel a Ninja Turtles license and a theme, but then you're going to grab another license with Ninja Turtles because of the Michael Bay films, and you're going to make 3 sets for that? Only 3 sets. 3 sets, really? To be honest, both films were not that great. I think some designs were really cool. I think some approaches were interesting. But to be honest, those 2 films were not that great. I don't think you should have modernized those films and etc. But then Lego, circling back, gets the license and creates 3 sets for the film. You mean to tell me you're going to take that license, but you canceled the 2012 line? I know. I'm talking on my hands. I apologize. It's what I do. That's the kind of person I am with how I speak. I'm a more verbal person when it comes to things. And this is one of those topics, guys, that breaks my brick. Like it bothers me. It's going to bother me forever because I spent a lot of time on the Ninja Turtle stuff I have at home. I collected a lot of Foot Ninja. I had to create, my own Rocksteady, my own Bebop, my own Casey Jones. I mean, come on. You made an April O'Neil, but you didn't make a Casey Jones? Are you kidding me? What are you doing? What are you not doing? That's the thing. It bothers me. It really snaps my studs. Like, I don't understand why you did that. Like, it's crazy, Stay hydrated. All day, every day. Stay hydrated. It really breaks my brick. Like, such a great theme. The sets were really, really done well. Yeah, the Ninja Turtle layer, the layer for Shredder, which was a later set that came out. It came out with a little set for Karai and a beat up Leonardo. Leonardo's my favorite Ninja Turtle. When I remember seeing the Leonardo versus Karai set at Toys R Us, rest in peace. I remember seeing that little $12, $15 box sitting on the shelf. I remember seeing the review, or not the review, but the release of it before it went in the stores. And I was extremely excited. And it was like, seriously? Like, I think it was a really well done theme. And it just bothers me. And the 2012 sets or not 2012. See, I'm getting all mixed up. I'm all bothered. The Michael Bay film that you got a license for and then only made 3 sets for is ridiculous. Like, why couldn't you make a couple other sets for it? Or why didn't you just stick to the 2012 license? Like, why couldn't you have just stuck to it? Don't get me wrong. The figures you made for the Michael Bay films are sweet. I mean, the fact that you could put Leonardo's swords, his katanas, on his back with a little 1x1 stud and a dual sheath for it, awesome. But seriously, like, why couldn't you do that? Why couldn't you take some of those ideas for the 2012 line and produce those? Why couldn't you make a few more molds of other mutants and characters that I think would have been fun? I think, yes, my opinion, would have been great to have. I know so many mock builders, so many people around the world who probably would have, out of doubt, bought a ton of certain characters to have maybe army builds or something. Like, I know it. I've talked to quite a few people about it. You know, I've been to Brick World Chicago. I've seen different custom-made things online. You know, there's two 2012 Comic-Con figures. One of them is a Krang soldier, but he's dressed up in a suit, but half of his face is all messed up. So you could see the internal like cybernetics. And then they made a Shadow Leonardo, which is phenomenal. It's a black Leonardo with his blue headband and the white eyes, like brilliantly done figure. If I had those two, I maybe wouldn't be as bothered by the series getting canceled, but I don't. Those are expensive figures, but that's a topic for another day in general. And it's ridiculous. Like, you spend so much time and money into deciding what gets made, how much gets made, how much things are, etc. But why bring it out to the world of Lego and then cancel it? Like, couldn't you have hold on to it just a little bit longer? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it breaks my brick. It really does. Like, breaks my bricks. Oh, man, it's annoying. It's annoying. You know, like I've seen a lot of great things over the years being a Lego fan, and for a theme such as, you know, why couldn't you have done it? Why couldn't you? I don't get it. You spend too much time on other things. You recreate sets over and over again that get boring for certain themes. I'll name them later. But seriously, like, that's ridiculous. And I know some people are going to watch this later, and yeah, I'm ranting. I'm kind of going back and forth. But that's the whole point of this. The whole point of this is just to vent out and to kind of grab the audience a bit. And eventually, I would like to talk with people more about things that break your brick, you know, things that bother you about Lego. A while back, I made a post about it, and I had several people comment in there about things that break their brick. Actually, I could probably tune into one now. Hey, Zach, how you doing? Hey, Ryan, even though you're over there. Purple Wolf. I still think that's a cool name for a YouTube channel or a gamer tag, whatever. I think that's cool. So hi, guys. But give me one moment here. I'm going to see if I could go into these comments here. See if I could pick one to talk about. Let me see here. I had a list of stuff on my own, so I have to backtrack a little bit. Bear with me here. All right. So here's a good one. All right. So again, a while back, I made a post about what breaks my brick and what I want to do when we're going to start and everything. And I asked people to name top 10 things that bother you. Please, if you guys eventually tune in, or if you're tuning in right now, by all means, you know, throw in a comment or two of what breaks your brick, what bothers you. I could talk about it right now if you like. If you're on here right now or later in future videos, I could pick your topic from here and I could talk about it in between what I have to talk about too. And maybe you and I have some things that we both hate equally. Maybe it's the same topic. Maybe it's relatable. I mean, it's Lego, it's relatable. But please, if you guys are tuning in right now, or if you're going to tune in later, please leave a comment and, you know, tell me what breaks your brick. If you want to list 10 things that break your brick that bother you about Lego, do it. I'll get to it, no problem. So I, again, did that a while back. And one of them was from our buddy Kurt. Kurt, how you doing? Hi, family. Hi, guys. I know you guys are going to tune in later and watch this, so hope you guys enjoy it. This is my first episode, so I'm kind of winging it right now. So he posted, and one of his top 10 things was that he wished, or let me backtrack a little bit. What breaks his brick for one of these was he wished they would give more parts than the specific amount you get for the set. And a couple extras, for loose pieces that might break or get lost in the set, some common stuff. And so what he means by that is when you get a set, there's a number of parts in the set, 1,500, 233, 654, whatever. And I could agree, it's definitely a brick buster that, it'd be nice for the cost of the set if you just threw in some other parts that could be something to make the set itself look really good or useful for a minifig in there or something. Now, cost to brick ratio is a whole nother topic. I'm not going to get too much into that. But I think that'd be kind of cool if Lego created sets and that eventually gave you some extras, just like a little bag that it doesn't even have to be in the number itself of how many parts you're listing. Maybe if you flip the box over and it showed in the corner, like, hey, you'll get these extra parts when buying this set. Like, do you remember back in the day, cereal boxes would have you collect certain items if you got multiple of the brand or the flavor of the cereal, and you could have the whole collection. Like, I remember one year they did like lightsaber spoons. I think it'd be really cool if Lego did more things like that. They did it for Ninjago, I know of, for like the golden weapons or etc., which great idea especially for a theme as such, throwing sets in with weapons you can only get from specific sets. Why can't Lego put parts in sets that are unrelated to the set or could complement the set? I mean, you're paying a certain amount or more for a set, but sometimes what you're paying for the set doesn't add up. It makes no sense. I got to be careful of how I talk about this because some of these things I'm saying I could talk about later on when it comes to another topic or two. But yeah, Kurt, I agree with you. What breaks your brick kind of breaks my brick a little bit. I got a little crack in my brick. Like, throw in some parts. If you're going to have sets be a certain amount of money, throw in some parts. Like, here's a complimentary, 2x4 or 6x6 or a 4-length bar or maybe a sword or a blaster or something. Like, throw it in there. Like, you mean to tell me when you're producing sets and parts, you can't just throw in a couple other pieces to sets besides certain little tiny pieces like a stud or a cheese wedge? You already throw in a part like that costs you nothing. Is it really going to cost you that much to throw something else in similar or maybe a little bit more of an eye catcher? Like, I think for all your licensed themes, essentially, you should throw in stuff like that to make the sets more appealing to customers and a fan base where you're like, oh, if I get this set and this set, I can put these two parts together and create this. Or I'm going to get all 5 of these sets and I can get, 15 bricks that could make a little vignette or something. Why can't you do it? You do stuff like that for Ninjago alone, where you throw in a weapon here, a weapon there, and if you get 4 or 5 sets, you get all 4 weapons for the ninja or more. So why not do that with Lego parts? It's just a thought, brick for thought. Doesn't make sense to me. It breaks my brick. I think Lego sometimes beats around the bush. I think it beats around the bush so much. It really milks the cow too much to get certain things created and built. And it's just kind of like, I feel as the company, the brand, you could do so more. I mean, you just bought Bricklink. Hello. I really hope you see what you have with Bricklink. That's a whole nother topic. I'm out. I'm not going there. That could break my bricks another day. I'm not going there. But there's so much opportunity with sets, and it doesn't realistically make sense. I mean, maybe business-wise, etc., it makes sense. But if you're going to create a theme or a line, milk it. Milk all of them. You're going to milk Star Wars, another topic. I know somebody here who could talk about that. That's a whole nother thing. But if you're going to create certain themes, especially licensed, milk all of them. Really look into what you have and get all you can from it, because that's just going to make you more money. That's going to create more fans, more collectors. I don't know why you don't do it. Realistically, I think I just talked about like 4 different things in this. By all means, if you're tuning in, leave a comment down below, something that breaks your brick. I'd love to talk about it. I can get to it now. I can get to it later. Like I said before, if some of these topics don't end up being the full hour as such, I'm going to fit whatever else I can in there. I want to be able to talk with more fans. These are things that I, as a collector, I, as a fan, just as a person in general, have come across. And so as the weeks progress, I got a lot to talk about. I got a lot to say. My bricks are broken. So maybe you guys can help me fix them. I don't know. Bring some clarity to set topics. But I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys for tuning in as you have been. I know I've had a few viewers here and there, and I appreciate it. I really do. Again, this is my first time doing such. So thank you. I hope you guys tune into this later and I can get more views on it. I'm probably going to watch it later to see how I did, although it's not bad. From what I'm seeing, last year was not last year. Last week was a little bit of a mess. I rewatched it and I was like, I could have done better. That could have been a better infomercial. But it's a commercial. It's supposed to be a quick thing anyway. So again, thank you all for who's tuned in and who will tune in later on. This is David from Bricks Minifigs and What Breaks My Bricks. And be sure to tune in tomorrow, where we here at Bricks and Minifigs do another Cyber Fun Day. We got a lot of cool stuff we're going to put out. Handful of Star Wars stuff. So for all you Star Wars fans, tune in tomorrow at 7:30. We're going to have a lot of awesome stuff. I'm going to be back here tomorrow helping Ryan out. We got some great stuff to show you, some new stuff that came in today. There's some other ideas we're going to come up with as well for it. So tune in. 7:30 tomorrow, Cyber Fun Day. Thank you again for joining me and What Breaks My Bricks. Keep building.